I don't think that we're on yet. I don't think that they can see us yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Um, okay. Okay. Can you see the chat?
Yes.
Okay. Good, good, good. Me too. Okay. And that's good. Then I can't see my face. And so, all right. So here we are. We are live, live, live. Hooty hoo to every one of you. And I just want to say, welcome, welcome, welcome. And guess who I have with me today? I have Cheyenne's own Fubar on patrol. Yep.
Now
The
she's
guy
now
who
she's
was
in trouble.
leaning back in his easy chair like I should be doing.
Oh no, there's no leaning back here. Let me see if I can get a picture of this.
I do.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
There's
Wow.
been no leaning back.
It looks like you're packing or something.
Well, yeah, I'm moving. I'm moving tomorrow. We've got the
You
U-Haul that'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So, well, do you want to talk about that for a second?
Sure. Yeah. We're moving about a mile and a half away from where we
Okay.
are currently,
Okay.
and just kind of it's about the same square footage and stuff. We had
Hmm.
some problems with the management, and we said,
Okay.
fine, if you don't want our money after 5 years, we'll give it to somebody else.
That's right. We'll take it somewhere else. Mm.
So
So, Fubar, how are you doing?
doing
Are you
okay.
under a lot
Just
of stress?
yes, all this moving and stuff like that. Yeah, this has been stressful.
Well, let me warn you of something. Stress does this to you, and this. It does all of
Well,
this. All
oh,
of it.
come on. This is Mr. Stress right here.
Okay, okay. Well, the last 5 years have been just utter hell for me, but
Yeah, right.
power through. That's right. So let's talk a little bit about, while people are filtering in here, let's learn a little bit about who you are. For those who don't know, tell us who Fubar is.
I'm some guy that hides behind a camera and looks at what's going on in front of him. No,
Well,
we
that's
do
90% of the people there.
right. No, uh, we do we're scanner chasers.
Okay.
Some call us stringers, or the old nomenclature for it is night crawlers. So
Night crawlers. Okay.
we yeah, we report on the news at night. So we see a lot of police interaction, uh, EMS interaction, fire interaction, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And how do you do this? How does it work?
With somebody's truck that they donated to me.
I
I
wasn't
don't
looking for
know
that.
who that could be.
I was not looking for that.
Calamity donated a truck to our channel. God bless her. No, we just got a scanner in the truck. Um, and we just purchased a big commercial camera.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, that cost about $3,000.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, so it's the same that the news stations use.
Is that
Uh,
something that came out of your pocket, or did your viewers help you with that, or how'd that come
the
about?
viewer, the viewers did help me with that. Most of it came out of my pocket, but God bless my viewers. They came up with about $600 for that.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So,
Okay.
so
Okay.
yeah.
So
So
what will
God
this
bless
new
them.
camera, what does it allow you to do that a regular one can't do?
This one has a super duper zoom on it. Uh, digitally or optically, I can go up to 24x, and digitally, I could go another up to another 10x on that. So I could zoom in at 240x.
And still keep a very clear picture?
The 10 times it gets grainy, but the 2 and 5 times is really nice. Also, I can stream at 1080p. I can film if I just do video. If
Mhm.
I just do video, I can video at 4K.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So, so yeah. So, so yeah, it's a very, very impressive camera.
Wow, it sounds impressive. Is
It
did did you have to
I
take class or anything to learn how to use that?
I'm still learning.
I bet
Af
you know how to use this.
Yeah, after about 3 months, of having it, I was able to finally go live with it, and, we're learning every day we go live
Okay,
with it.
okay. Well, that's great. Well, okay, so well, as you know, most of the views on this will be after.
Mhm.
Um, that's when I get most of my views. I don't get most of my views live. Yeah. So,
I see a
um,
couple of my Tubies in here.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
Dennis is
say hi to
here.
some people. Let's do it.
Yeah, there's Dennis
Yeah.
and
Aquamarine and Karen,
hey,
Jen,
Karen, how you doing?
hmm and Sarai. I saw in there earlier. Hey, Kath. Hey, Nikki Noodles. Hi,
Nathan's is
Sean.
here. Nicky Noodles
Hmm.
is in the
Yeah.
house.
Nathan is here. Nathan says, I'm here,
Yeah,
Fubar.
Nathan's here.
Empty. Empty is here. Yeah.
Empty.
Hey,
What's
what
up?
is empty? That's what I want to know. What's empty?
What's empty? Probably my
Yeah.
head for doing this.
Oh, right, right. Yeah. Hi, Tons.
You got to be kind of a special person to be running some of these scenes. Let me tell you what.
Well, let me find out a little bit about your background first. Tell
Uh
me
huh.
about where you grew up and the whole thing, and let's go from there.
I grew up in Colorado, uh, on a horse ranch,
Mm.
more or less. So I've been working since, oh my God, since I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we used to train, ride, and show horses and
Okay.
breed horses.
Did you break them too?
So, yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
we do
another
what we call
commonality that we have.
we I do something that was called a soft break.
Okay.
So
And okay, and so why no, before I get to that, what did you want to be when you grew up?
an astronaut. I
Why?
wanted to work. Well, actually, not necessarily an astronaut. I wanted to work for NASA,
Okay.
because space has always fascinated me,
Mm-hmm.
and to do so, I went into the military, into the army, and got into aviation,
Oh.
thinking that would be a great step towards
Mm-hmm.
my goal.
Okay.
Not so much. So, yeah, my guidance counselor in high school didn't really help me too much on my dreams.
Yeah.
But no, my dream was to work for NASA.
Okay. Okay. And so, what were you like in high school?
I was the, I don't know, I guess you could call it the outcast.
Okay.
Um,
Why?
well, I I knew people in all the realms of high school, and it kind of made me the outcast. is I played football, so some could have
Okay.
considered me a jock. I was,
You? Do you
I was,
consider yourself a jock?
yeah,
Okay.
I consider myself a lot of things. Some of them not exactly things we can't say on YouTube. Anyhow, um, uh, uh, I had really good grades,
Okay.
so I was a nerd in that way,
Mhm.
and I I was kind of the redneck. So it was one of those I kinda hang hung out in all the different sort of cliques in high school, but was never really truly a part of any one of them
Okay. So
because
that's how
I
I was.
did I did
I
so
was
much.
everyone's friend. So
So, but I
Fubar.
was still kind of the outcast of it.
Well, it doesn't sound like you were too much of an outcast. It sounds to me like you were just friendly with everybody.
Yeah, I tried to be,
Ah,
but it just when high school was weird because if you weren't part of one group, one particular group, you weren't a part of any groups. You were
okay.
just no.
Wow.
So, and yeah, I was bullied real bad in high school and junior high. So
Did you
it was crazy.
did you fight back from the bullying or what happened?
Um, I don't like to hurt people because
Mhm.
I knew I was one of the bigger guys in our school. I mean, I played football. I was on the line.
Okay.
Um, so usually I just kind of take it unless I was pinned into a corner and which I was once. And it was 3 guys were on me and I don't like tooting my own horn because I hurt 2 of them pretty bad, but uh, I was able to get my way out of that. They had me pinned against a locker, and the other guy was going to come up and hit me. And well, let's just say, I hope they still have. I hope they were still able to have kids. So,
Oh. Oh my. We
well, it
won't
was
get
three
into
on
that.
one. You got to do what you got to do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. That's right. I do have a story about that, but I won't go into that. It's not me on the hot seat, it's you. Um, okay, so tell me then, what did you do after high school?
I went into the military. I
What
should
branch?
have went Army.
Army.
Yeah.
Hoorah.
So I should have instead I should have went to college, but instead I chose the military.
Why?
I really couldn't afford college, to tell you the truth,
Mhm.
and I did not finish high school.
Oh,
My education was waived by the governor of Colorado.
repeat that,
So
please.
my education was waived
Okay.
by the governor of Colorado.
What does that mean?
What it's when I went into the military because I did not finish my high school education,
Mhm.
uh, I took my ASVABs and I was within the
Mhm.
top 5% in the nation when I took those.
The nation?
In the nation, yes.
Wow.
I was within the top 5%. As a matter of fact, the recruiter threw the book at me and says, "You can do anything in this book that you want to as long as it doesn't involve being an officer," just because my scores were so high.
Unbelievable. That's terrific. So, I
So,
have
so
a
for me to
follow-up
get
question
in,
about that.
so for me to get in, the
Mhm.
governor had to waive the educational requirements,
Mhm.
and I've got somewhere a letter, more or less. It's kind of like having I guess, it's kind of like having your high school diploma, except
Mhm.
this is being given by the governor.
Okay. Wow. How often does that happen? Something like that?
Not a lot. Not a
Well,
lot.
that's pretty impressive. And by the
Yeah, I
way,
did.
congratulations, Empty. He got a
Yeah,
membership.
yeah, you got a membership.
Mhm.
Thank you for whoever gave the membership out. That is awesome of you guys.
You are welcome. It was me.
No, that was you.
Mm.
Uh, and also, um, yeah, they did do an IQ test on me, and I was at 136, if I remember correctly. My IQ was up there.
Mm.
So
Wow.
and like I said, I didn't finish high school.
Mhm, mhm.
So I did a lot of self-teaching, uh, learned a lot about the world. As I tell people, I went through the school of hard knocks.
So, but, geography is your gig?
I know a little bit of geography.
Okay, okay. And so when you say you studied the world, what do you mean by that then?
No, I would study on my own time, at my own pace. So, there are a lot of things that fascinate me that I've done a lot of research into,
Okay, okay.
and I a lot of it I don't understand, some of it I do understand. So but unfortunately, after my stroke, I've lost a lot of that knowledge.
What grade did you complete what up to what grade did you complete high school?
10th.
Okay.
I was
You
I was
know,
just going into my sophomore no, junior year,
okay.
and and instead I ended up, uh, leaving high school and, joining the military.
Okay. And so what did the military offer to you that you picked? If no, wait. Let me rephrase that. The military offered you anything except for enlisting as an officer, right?
Correct, anything I could do anything as long as it doesn't require being an officer.
So what was that?
I worked on, helicopters, Cobras and
Okay.
Hueys.
Wow. And how many years in the military did you serve?
I did 3 by 5, 3 active, 5 inactive. I was National Guard.
What was your MOS?
67 Yankee 10,
Wow.
attack helicopter repair. Did my basic at Fort Dix, and I did my AIT at Fort Eustis in Virginia, and I was with the 135th out of Buckley in Colorado.
You know, I didn't know that about you not completing high school and everything. I'm actually very impressed. Very impressed. So, let's move after the military. How many years did you serve first? And thank you for your
I did
service.
my
Thank you.
I did my oh, no problem. I did my 3 active, 5 inactive. I've got my papers of separation with honorable discharge.
Okay. Okay. See, I'm
So
wearing my red, white, and blue for you.
there you go.
It just happened. Yeah. Okay. So now, after you got out of the military, what did you do?
Um, well, uh, I worked for the Colorado Rockies for a year, the
Really?
baseball team. Yes, I worked security. I worked security for the Rockies, and I worked security up at the old Stapleton Airport. It was the same company.
Okay.
Uh, oh boy, the stories I could tell about the Rockies.
Give us
It
one
was
that
a
you can tell. Give us
yeah,
one.
it was. Uh, man, this one it's a longer story, but I'll try to condense it. So one day I was I was up at the umpire's locker room, and it
Mhm.
was a nice little place to be security at because you had access to their refrigerator and so on. Well,
Of course you
oh,
did.
it was awesome. Let me tell you what, and when they were out, you'd watch the game on the TV because
Mhm.
part of your duties were to make sure that the VCR was recording the game. So you had to watch the TV, you had to watch the game on the TV, and you're just kicking back in a chair, watching the TV, drinking sodas, eating pumpkin seeds, whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
that was a heck of a game. Anyhow, that was on the second floor of Mile High Stadium.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and I'm talking because you have the locker rooms underneath the stadium there. So it was on the second floor. And that's where the batting cage was at. So we'd have players going by all the time heading to the batting cage. Now, at this same time, I owned a sports card shop. So
Oh,
I really, really had to watch what I was doing because there was a huge conflict of interest there.
yeah.
First year Rockies, I own a sports card shop. I've really got to separate the two. So anyhow, coming up the back stairs, uh, near the umpire's locker room, all of a sudden, Dante Bichette, he comes by and I get up. Mr. Bichette, how you doing today? Him and I talk for a couple minutes, and he headed towards the batting cage. This is before a game. And then I hear somebody else coming up the back stairs. Well, I get up and Amos Otis is there. And I look at him and I go, how you doing today, Mr. Baylor? Now, for those that don't know, Mr. Uh, Don Baylor was the head coach of the Rockies at the time.
Mhm.
I knew who Amos Otis was. I think everybody knows who famous Amos is. And I
Yeah.
said, how
Have
are
you
you
seen my
doing
hips?
today? And I was going, I got up and said, how are you doing today, Mr. Baylor? And I knew immediately after those words pressed my lips, I screwed up. He looks at me and he says, not Don Baylor. He says, I'm Amos Otis. I'm the good looking one. And I went, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no, this gets
Oh.
better. This gets better. The next day, after being completely humiliated, I come down out of the players' elevator to get back down to the ground to see where I was posted that day. And my buddy and AO are sitting there talking back and forth. And I start to walk towards them and I see Amos just get this huge smile on his face.
Mhm.
And he looks at me and he says, how you doing today, Mr. George Brett? And I went, oh my God. So for
Mm.
those that don't know, my first name is Brett. So so he called me George Brett. And George Brett, very famous baseball player for Kansas City. As a matter of fact, he happened to be one of my childhood heroes growing
Mm.
up. And I just went, oh my Lord. So, anyhow, that joke went throughout the whole year.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
once I separated from the Rockies, the next year, AO was put down to the minors as the first base coach. And I happened to have been leading a sales force down in Colorado Springs. And I asked, and I went, you know, something that would be nice for my guys is to go out and see a ball game,
Mhm.
even though it's minor league, it's AAA. So I go walking up to the fence, this fence in front of the locker room. There's this poor little kid. He's getting autographs from the players as they go in and out of the locker room. I the bat boy, I asked him real quick. I said, "Hey, is AO in there?" And he says, "Yeah." I said, tell him somebody wants to see him." And he says, "Okay." he goes and gets Amos Otis, and he comes out, and I look at him and I said, Don Baylor, how the hell you doing? And he says, and he just starts laughing. And this kid that's getting these autographs, he's sitting there. He says, looks at him and says, are you really Don Baylor? By this time, I'm about ready to fall on the floor laughing. Well, he zings me back. And he looks at me, he says, I'm doing pretty good, George Brett. How are you doing? And this kid is just flying through this stack of baseball cards looking for you're George Brett. And it's just here going, oh my God. So yeah,
So
that's one of the stories from the Rockies.
wouldn't that be funny if you ran into him again today and said, "Hey, how's it going, Don Baylor?"
He would know he would know very quickly. Actually, he lives in Las Vegas right now.
Oh, is that right?
And yeah, him and I stayed in touch for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've thought about maybe writing a letter to him or something and trying to get back in contact with him. But yeah, he lives in Vegas, just
Okay.
outside of Vegas now.
Okay. And so, what did you do after that? And by the way, how old were you when you were doing that?
Oh my gosh, 21?
Oh, okay. So you were young. You were a young guy.
Yeah, yeah, I was
Hmm.
21, 22, because that's when my daughter was born. And that's another Rocky story of
Okay.
when my daughter was born during the season. So, but and that's a real the Rockies organization really came out uh and supported Jet you guys know her as Cerebral.
Mhm.
She was born um while I was working for the Rockies, and they considered her the first baby born into the Rockies organization because
Wow.
the security force was part of the security force down in on the field and stuff. We were considered field security,
Hmm.
and we were really family with the team because we had very close contact with the players. We got to know the
Sure.
players and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, that was really neat.
That's great. That's great. I have a story about
But
that too, but it's not with me. It's my friend Melanie. But anyway,
oh,
go on. It's not about me, so go on.
yeah, drink water.
Yeah, I did. I did. I did. Okay, so after that, where what happened to you? Where
I
were you? What did you do for a living?
I ended up opening a courier business in Colorado
A career
that
business?
I had a courier
Okay.
business, delivery
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
and I owned that for 15 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then
I got into truck dispatching,
mhm.
and unfortunately, now I'm disabled from my stroke and waiting on disability.
So, do you want to talk about your health a little bit?
Um, well, I mean, it's kind of known.
Not everybody.
I've had a stroke and two heart attacks.
When?
So my stroke was what, three, 3 or 4 years ago. My heart attacks just last year.
How are you feeling?
Doing good.
Good.
Doing good. They put
Good.
in 4 stents.
Mhm.
Uh, so we got that taken care of. Had a major scare because while I was having my heart attack, they tried to put the first stint in and failed. They couldn't
Oh,
get it in. So I actually talked to a heart surgeon
okay.
who wanted to do a four-way bypass. And unfortunately, that's what my grandfather died too,
Yeah.
was the bypass. So that scared the bejeebers out of me. And God bless the doctor that I had, Dr. Khan. Yes,
Mm.
just like in Star
Shout out
Trek,
to Dr. Khan.
Khan. Yes. He stayed with it. He came back. He went home, I guess, and the case was really bothering him. He came back at like 1 o'clock in the morning and said, "Listen, we're going to use a bigger gauge wire and try to punch through this so you don't have to go through heart surgery."
Oh,
And he ended up successfully putting in the stents.
terrific. Terrific.
So I owe that man a lot.
Your life.
Yeah. I
Your
mean,
life.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he could have said the heck with it. He's going to go through heart surgery, but no.
Mhm.
He reminds me of a lot of old time doctor. It's like
Yeah.
they'll. So I was lucky to have him.
Hmm. So, Fubar, let's talk about some current times.
Oh boy,
How long have you been scanner chasing, night
about a,
crawl,
about
stringering, the whole
yeah,
thing?
about a year and a half now.
Okay. And how many subscribers do you have now?
Uh, a little over 8,000.
That's that's great for a year and a half. That's
So,
really
so
good.
I, I love every last one of them. I've got a very unique and special chat, and my people in my chat are they're just awesome. I don't know what I'd do without them. I tell you what, they have become
Thank you,
extended
Sean.
family.
Thank you, Sean, for
They,
that membership.
mm,
Um, I understand that about loving every one of them and having them be extended family. I get that. Um, so Cheyenne, Wyoming. Shout out to
mhm.
Wyoming, where we both are right now. Uh huh.
Yay!
But we're on opposite sides of the state. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So now, Fubar, tell us a little bit about Cheyenne, and do they have a sheriff department only, or is it a PD, or
We
tell us
have
about
we
that?
have we have state patrol, sheriff, and PD here.
Okay, and who's most active?
All three of them are very
Really?
active. As a matter of fact, we just had uh, Frontier Days, and we
Mhm.
even had officers from other jurisdictions come in to help out with Frontier Days.
Go into detail of what Frontier Days are for those who don't know what it is.
Cheyenne Frontier Days is the oldest outdoor rodeo in the United States,
Yeah,
and it is huge.
yeah, it's
Um,
huge. The whole
it's
state comes out for this.
yeah, I think the whole nation comes out for this.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
everybody who's
kind
in
of
Cowboy Town does.
right.
Mhm.
Kind of to put it in perspective, the population of Cheyenne is only 65,000 people. Cheyenne Frontier Days, they were guessing around 250,000 people came through over the week of Frontier Days.
Does Cheyenne have the capability of housing all that, an additional 190,000?
Nope.
So what happens? I mean, what did they
uh,
do? They cause a
uh,
lot of
people
problems?
have people have had to get hotels as far as Fort Collins, up
Mhm.
in uh, Laramie,
Mhm.
and drive in. It's only 30-45 minute drive.
Mhm.
But no, just so many people. And of course, the hotel rooms here just go stupid crazy for
Yeah.
a flea bag motel. Seriously, for
Mhm.
a rundown flea bag motel, you're going to be paying $300 a night.
Mm, that's insane. But, that's why I don't go to that because it's insane,
Yeah, yeah.
but fun,
I
but fun.
Yeah, I did. I reported on it. I've got a couple videos out on it. I do need to
Yeah,
I'm
I wanna
still in the
talk about that.
process of editing more video.
Let's talk about
So,
that.
okay.
Um, how how did it come about that you were able to report on, Frontier Days?
I requested press credentials, at Frontier Days. Just,
Crazy.
and I did to tell you the truth, I didn't think I was gonna get press credentials. I'm just some YouTuber.
Mhm.
And sure enough, they came back and gave me press credentials.
Before we go any further, you say you're just some YouTuber. I understand that. How many scanner chasers, night crawlers, stringers, streamers, has four different names. That
Right.
how many are there of them in Cheyenne? How many of you guys?
2.
Two.
One
Okay.
that does it very, very, very like once every one that does it about once every 3 months, and then I'm on 5 nights a week.
Okay, so you're the primary person to do this,
Yes.
Cheyenne. Okay. Um, well, I want to veer off of that, but I want to finish Frontier Days. So continue, please.
Yeah, Frontier Days, I was very shocked. Now, there's some stuff I wanted to, record some of the rodeo and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I didn't get my requests in for credentials, in time for that. It said in the
Oh,
press release that uh, I had to have them in within 2 months of the actual event. I did get my request in 2 months before the event. However, when I was sitting in the media room, I was talking to some, other news agencies,
hmm,
and they told me, they said, "Oh, no. No, 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 no." They said, "Don't go by that. You need to put in your request, like, 6 months in advance." And
next
I
year.
went, "Yep." I'm going, "Okay, now I know for next year, I
Yeah,
guess."
yeah. Okay. And so, how did it go? How did Frontier Days go?
It was tiring. Uh, a lot, uh, a lot of shooting video. The people there were wonderful, just straight wonderful, working with me. One of the days that I was doing a lot of, filming, I had an escort, and we drove around in a golf cart
In a golf
because
cart.
yeah, because I'm on the cane and stuff. So he says, "We'll get the golf cart," and
Hmm.
I'm going, "Okay, right on." So yeah, we went and did the Native American powwow.
Shout
With
out to the Native Americans. Uh,
and so that's going to be the next video that I drop is of the powwow.
okay.
At least film video. Obviously, I'm still going to go live tomorrow.
Hmm.
So
And what tribe is represent? Is a whole bunch of tribes
there
represented, or just
there were different tribes there.
okay? Okay. Any teepees?
There were a bunch of teepees.
Yeah.
Yep, that's I think they used as their dressing rooms.
Mm,
So, but there, I'd say there's about 8 or 10 teepees there.
okay. Okay. I have a teepee now.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
I do too.
It's an
Yeah.
I'd say it's a she shed, but it's a she teepee. The she teepee
Okay.
instead of a she shed.
Thank you for joining us. We have to go now. Well, it hasn't been broken in yet officially,
Yeah.
but I still have a lot of work and stuff to do in there. But anyway,
Oh, it looks so
um,
awesome. I
It
watched
is.
that video. It looks so awesome. I'm jealous.
Tonka is called Tonka. You
Yeah,
silly. He's calling it a sheepy.
sheepy. See what
That's
I done
funny.
did?
That's funny. So, okay, now let me ask you. Frontier Days
Uh-huh.
is now over.
Yes, thank God.
And you are the primary stringer from the Cheyenne area. Does the law enforcement, how do they treat you? How do they work with you?
I
Or
get
do
along
they?
great with them. You know, I get along great with them. As a matter of fact, the first day of Frontier Days, I
Mhm.
was
Oh, we're breaking up. We're breaking up. You're
sure.
breaking up. You're gonna have to repeat that.
I Oh, I was saying, as a matter of fact, the first day of
Mhm.
Frontier Days, I was doing a ride along with our sheriff, Sheriff
Oh, go
Kozak.
into that.
Oh, that was so awesome. Getting to kind of see the behind the scenes and what they do in their vehicles. Um, it was pretty amazing. It was a lot of fun seeing that, kind of eye opening.
Yes, yes. Now, I just got a little message and it made me smile. Um, and so, how, what were you able to, what kinds of things that you were able to see on your ride along that you couldn't see from your Super Wazoo camera?
Well, you know, you're looking at it from the other side of the windshield, really. Um, I
Oh,
could
good
hear
point.
I could hear stuff on their radio that I can't hear on the scanner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how and what they go through when they do a pullover or when they have to respond to a scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just stuff you really don't see.
Yeah.
Uh, and you can hear kind of the buildup
Mm-hmm.
in the voice, even though they sound very calm over the radio, you can tell they're getting their game face on the way to the scene or even a pullover.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to remember they're just humans. They're
Yeah.
human beings. I mean, something.
Oh yeah. I know.
We get when we go on scene. I mean, yeah, there's an adrenaline rush going.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they've got 5 times that adrenaline rush going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And do you have a different perspective for law enforcement after that?
Well, my daughter, she's a CO, corrections officer in
Mm-hmm.
Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always had the utmost respect for officers.
Mm-hmm.
Period. End of story. Um, Law enforcement, EMTs, militaries, first responders. I My hats are off to them. I
Mm.
couldn't do it. I couldn't do
It's Gracie, my dog.
it. The puppy.
Yeah, now the dogs are gonna howl, I think. Oh gosh. Welcome to Wyoming. Um, yeah. Gracie, no. Gracie. Hi. That was a little um sorry. Okay, now tell me a little bit about the sheriff and your relationship. Or do you have a relationship with him?
Uh, it's strictly professional.
Of course.
Um, he how I met him was last year. I called in to do an
Mhm.
interview with him,
Mhm.
and when I first started this channel, I kind of wanted to uh, get hold of law enforcement to kind of tell them what I was planning on doing.
Mhm.
So at first, I checked with chief police. He didn't want to go on camera or interview anything like that, but I kind of explained to him what I was doing, just so he didn't confuse me with an auditor or something
Mhm.
like that.
What's an auditor?
First Amendment auditors. Ugh. I'll let
Okay, we'll go into that
it,
later. We'll go into that
yes.
later.
If people don't know, check up First Amendment auditors on YouTube. You guys will kind of be sick. But anyhow, there
Okay.
there's something completely different. Um, anyhow, the chief police actually was like, "Hey, that's really cool."
Mhm.
Then I got with Sheriff Kozak, and he is awesome. I mean, this man has done so much for getting things changed around in the sheriff's department.
Mhm.
Uh, some of the plans that he's got. I am going to be doing a follow-up interview with him. I
Wait a
just
minute.
wanted to.
Wait a minute. A
Mhm.
follow-up? You did a first interview with him.
Yes, I did. I did a first interview,
Okay, and
and so it was an awesome interview. And so I'm doing another. I'm going to do another interview with him for kind of a 1 year later.
okay.
Stuff
Okay.
that he was talking about then. Where are we at from then till now?
Okay. Okay.
And I can tell you it's going to surprise you and blow your mind because he has made a lot of changes here in Cheyenne.
Well, I tell you what, and I don't think I've shared this with you, that up here in the county that I'm at, and which is on the opposite state of you, he's made
Mhm.
a name known. He has made a name for himself down there in the capital that has trickled down to up here. So shout out to Sheriff Kozak.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, he actually had a thing go viral down in Denver. Now, I'm going to tell you that I really like this about him. I brought it up when I went on the ride along, and I told him, I said, "Dude, you got some big brass ones. Let me tell you what." Uh, yeah, I told him that straight up. Now, for those that don't know what happened, was down in Denver. They are really having a problem with being able to enforce the law fully down in the Denver metro area. They're kind of restricted. So the sheriff decided, hey, you know what? We need people here in Cheyenne badly. We need good
Mhm.
officers. We need good deputies. And so he put a billboard, paid to have a billboard put in the
I
middle
heard
of
about it.
downtown that says, "Do you really want to enforce the law without being restricted? Come join us here in Cheyenne." That made national news when he did that, and it upset Denver bigger than snot. So, what I say he's got big brass ones. I I I'm sorry, I died laughing when he did that.
Yeah. And, I think that that's part of the reputation that s- uh, spun him off. So I think that that is terrific.
He's
So,
not afraid of anything, let me tell you what.
well, you know what? In the event that he happens to watch this, shout out to you, good sir. Appreciate you. And so now let's go into your Skinner chasing. Okay, so you've been
Uh-huh.
doing it. You've been doing it for a year and a half,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you have built up for yourself over 8,000 subscribers,
Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
and they're very loyal to you. Your
Yeah,
subscribers, aren't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they
Mhm,
are. I mean, like
mhm,
I said, they're like extended family to me.
mhm, mhm.
I
And
really appreciate it.
so you say that you have a decent relationship with the officers. Do you
Uh-huh.
get spotlighted like what goes on in Bakersfield?
I have, but they're kind of looking to see who I am.
Mhm. Do they
Most
recognize the truck?
most of the officers know the truck. Uh,
Mhm,
I work a lot with the sheriff's department,
mhm,
uh, filming them. CPD, I don't. I
mhm.
I I'm trying to get more stuff with them. And then, of course, highway patrol, I don't get a whole heck of a lot of because
Mhm.
we're not allowed to film on the highway.
Really?
Yeah, if you're on, say there's an accident or say they've got a pullover on the highway of suspected DUI, I cannot go up there and film because those pullover lanes are they are emergency lanes. They are for emergency use. I could actually get a ticket
Okay. Yeah.
for pulling over there and it not being an emergency.
And so how do you what do you say? Give everybody a play by play from a distance, or what do you do?
Yeah, I try to stay as far away as possible,
Hmm.
and we just kind of go through it. Um, I try not to enter. I tell people what's going on, but I don't get. I try to hold back my own opinion. The reason is I want the video and
Hmm.
the scanner to tell the story. There's
Interesting.
there's no reason to put my own twist on it
Hmm.
because it's that's just I'm not here to sway anybody's opinion left or right.
Hmm.
So I'm just here. This is how it is. This is what's going on. You guys can go ahead and have your own opinion about it.
Good. I think that that's I think that's brilliant, because then you're just there to show. Yeah. So do you have any problem areas in Cheyenne? Are there any problem areas?
Everybody says it's the South Side, but it's not. You know, there's some little small pockets
Mhm.
of areas that, but it doesn't matter if you're on the north side or the south side. I've heard as many calls come out of the north side as I have out of the south side.
Mhm.
So the big thing is we don't have you got we're a small city. So we don't really have like the crime that Bakersfield has or LA has.
Mhm.
There's nights that I've been out there and we didn't even get to see a pullover.
Mhm.
But then there's nights where the scanner's going crazy and we can't keep up with it.
Mhm. Mhm. Do you when you say we, who's we?
Well, I
The
consider everybody on my channel we. We are all
I got
out
you.
there. Yes.
Okay, I gotcha. I just wanted to clarify to make sure you didn't have anybody riding with you or anything like
No.
that. Okay. So it's normally just you in the truck.
Yep, it's just me and
Mhm.
everybody in the
In
front
the
and
chair.
back seat.
Mhm. I've taken a nap or 2 back there. I tell you
Yeah.
what, I have. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so now, tell us about your most memorable call.
I will never forget this call. It was very early in my channel.
Okay?
There was a call that came over of a 15-year-old girl that was shot,
Mm, yeah.
and I went to it. As a matter of fact, I'm the only one that's got video uh, of kind of the entire thing. That one I'll never forget. I go by her memorial every day, or not every day, almost 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 every stream we are in that area of where she
Mhm.
gets shot, where she got
Mhm.
shot.
How did
It was
it happen?
it was a drive-by shooting, and unfortunately, she was an innocent, and she got killed. Um, they did catch the people who shot her,
Mhm.
but yeah, we don't have gangs here. We have families here. That there are certain families you kind of stay away from. And
I
I I was just talking to somebody the other day about this. And those certain families that you kind of stay away from, they're there. You just kind of stay away from them.
Mhm.
And anyhow, I was talking to a person just the other day about this, and I'm going, you know what? Those families are the ones that are keeping the gangs out of Cheyenne.
Mhm.
If we were to lose those families, the gangs would come in.
Now explain the difference between a family and a gang, because
This
that
is
can
an
get
act
confusing.
These are actual families
Okay.
from grandfather all the way down to the kids.
Okay, and are
They're
they crime ridden, or they been
they're
there a
crime
long time,
Yeah, the
or
families are crime ridden.
okay,
So you
okay,
just they're just kind of people you stay away from
okay.
unless you're looking for trouble
How
because
many do
they
you
will
have?
definitely
How many
bring
families are there?
two.
2.
Two that I know of.
Hatfield and McCoys, huh?
Yeah. Well, they don't go after each other, but they handle a lot of stuff, uh, a lot of the illegal stuff here in town. And
Wow.
like I said, yeah, it's scary when you hear over the scanner. Uh, they're like, "Yeah, we know this person. We're going to go talk to them." And usually, it's from one of the two families. Um, but however, it's one of those things. Do we want them here, or do we want the gangs to move in?
Well, that's pretty, for lack of a better word, impressive for 2 families to be able to hold back gang activity
Yeah,
from even coming in. Wow, I've never heard of such a thing.
yeah, yeah. Well, they've got. I know they've got connections with the gangs and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
it's one of those. The gangs don't come here, and it's kind of like i- it's credited to those two families that
Wow.
don't let you. So yeah.
Did you ask the sheriff about that?
No, I've never really went into discussion. It's kind of a taboo discussion.
Oh, I would think that that would be something that would be interesting to know from his perspective. Yeah. Um, uh, so now this little girl,
Yes,
15, she was shot,
15 years old. Yeah,
and that
out
had
of
a
car.
big impact on you.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got film and I've got video out there. It's on my YouTube page of when we
Mhm.
got on scene. It is muted, so you cannot hear the scanner or anything because that night, um, a lot of very sensitive information came out about, at the time, the girl's name,
Mhm.
family members' names, suspects'
Mhm.
names, the
Mhm.
whole shebang.
Sure. Sure.
So I talked to an attorney about that, and he says, even though it's your First Amendment that you can share this, however, even though you're protected by the First Amendment, he says, however, if repercussions came of this, I could be held liable for releasing that information.
Mm.
And so the attorney told me it's just best to mute the whole thing.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, but I don't think I edited any of it, but the only edit I did was mute it.
Mhm. Yeah.
And but I've got film of them working on her. I don't have pictures of her. I don't do that. I didn't zoom in and get, oh yeah, there she is being trying to be resuscitated. No, I stayed back with the cell phone, but you could see the first responders working on her and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Well,
that
like
was
Ella just said, my new member,
yeah.
like what she just said, that's called integrity.
Uh,
Yeah.
I try. There's certain things that I won't show. I just won't.
Mhm.
So I three rules I hold my channel by
Mhm.
is I will not show minors unless it's a direct threat to the public. I
Such
do
as.
not stolen car, them going out with pew pews, anything that would be considered a threat to the public. Now
Okay.
there is times like on car pullovers and stuff like that. You've got young adults, and
Mhm.
it's like that's something that I can't get around. There's just
Mhm.
nothing. But as for kids trying to um, unalive themselves, I don't
Mhm.
go to those calls.
Mhm.
Those are mental health calls. I will not go to mental health calls uh, unless it's a direct threat to the public, where it's like a standoff situation.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
I will roll on.
Okay.
But if they're trying to do other things, I won't do that. And again, I won't do medical calls. If
Mhm.
it's a straight up medical call, I will not go
Okay. Okay.
because those people are already having enough problems in their life without me sticking a camera in there.
Well, that's very unselfish of you, I should say. Very unselfish. Um, so Fubar,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you do for fun with your channel?
Oh my
But then
gosh.
when you have downtime, what do you do?
Oh, we talk. We talk in the chat. Every so often I'll sing God Help Everybody. I know I torture my people, but it's all fun. Um, of course, we got the duckies. We That's a new thing. We're getting
Mhm.
a we're getting the gaggle of ducks. So we have the ducky cam every so often.
Yeah, yeah.
So we try to keep it light.
Mhm.
Now when we roll up on scene, it's very stressful. It's very dramatic. I guess I could put it. It's very dramatic. You can feel the intensity of the scene, even if it's just a pullover.
Mhm.
Um, it's serious mode. However, after the event and so on, you gotta laugh
Yeah.
because of the stuff that we are, uh, because of the stuff that we are filming.
Mhm.
Like that 15-year-old girl. That's serious stuff there that I'm showing live.
How
So,
how has your life changed from doing this?
oh my gosh. What's interesting is I've always wanted I hate being in front of the camera. That's the first. I hate being in front of cameras.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just the guy behind the camera. I'm getting recognized a lot. People driving by honking their horns,
Fubar,
Fubar.
you scoot up a little bit. You're falling below the
Oh,
view.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Um, I have people drive by honking horns
Mhm.
and hollering out the window, and I love meeting with people as long as that I know that they're coming.
Mhm.
Um, however, uh, it's also been kind of scary. It's a double-edged sword, especially in a city this small.
Mhm.
It's a double-edged sword. So I do carry protection with me
Sure.
because there are people out there that say I filmed something and they could turn
Mhm.
around and say, "Well, it's your fault." And
Mhm.
if you're from
Mhm.
around here, you know exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
You can easily find where I'm at.
Sure.
So I do carry protection with me. But I do love meeting people as well.
Well, that's the unique thing about Wyoming is that practically everybody does. I do. When I go out somewhere, I'm carrying something. I have a nice Glock 19 that my hand fits right nicely around.
There
Got
you go.
shotguns and a rifle.
Oh, real
Yeah.
quick, shout out Raiders Queen, what's up? And LL, what's happening?
All right. And I
Dennis, what's up? Sorry, just shouting
no,
out
no,
some of the
no, go
people.
ahead, go ahead. Um Lurkers Lounge, people hanging out, not chatting. I know
Yep,
you're there. Fubar knows you're there. Thank you so much. We
our
appreciate it. Thank you.
Lurkers Lounge is awesome.
That's right. That's right. And I hang out in the lounge quite a bit.
Yeah, that's kind of where I make. I watch a lot of other stringers and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
usually I've got it on my TV while I'm working on the computer.
Yeah, I know. This content creating, there, it's like a 15-hour day at least. For me, it is.
It gets
Yeah.
crazy at times.
Yeah.
It's taken me already a week to edit
Mhm.
video from Frontier Days. I've dropped 3 videos from, Frontier Days so far over
Mhm.
the past 2.5 weeks, of filming.
Mhm.
So and I've still got, like, another 2 or 3 videos that I still gotta drop that I'm still
Yeah.
editing.
I've got like 8 or 9 and it's just like building up, but that's okay. I A question that recently popped into my mind is would you consider asking the sheriff to come on a ride along with you?
I have thought about it. Um,
I'll
it's
ask you
I
right
don't know
now.
I don't know if he'd be interested in doing it or not.
Sheriff Kozak, sir, would you be interested in a ride along with the Foobs, whichever way he's sitting? Yeah. Because I'm really familiar with that truck, and I tell you what, you can get kind of comfortable, and it could be a good experience for you, sir. So there you go, Fubar. Okay.
Okay.
um. So Fubar, do you have time a little bit of time to take some questions from the chat?
Sure, got it. I got a few minutes.
Okay. Okay, because I know that you gotta, pack and everything. And so does anybody have any questions that they have for Fubar? And while they're putting that in the chat, I'll ask you one. Can you sing?
I cannot. I can well, I take that back. I can sing, I just sing very badly, and I
Me
could lose
too.
you a lot of your subscribers.
Me too. I'm a terrible singer, but you know what? I don't care. So, and I do
Well,
it all the time.
it's like when the sheriff's office up or when police officers let people go. I always sing, "They let him go, they let him go,
Oh.
they let him go, why we don't know."
Hey,
But
Karen Munson is asking, when did you come to Wyoming?
about 5 years ago.
Why?
Uh, to get away from the high rents in Colorado. I'll tell the
Okay.
truth.
Okay.
It just got too expensive.
Mhm. Well, yeah. I mean, Colorado's terribly expensive. Yeah. But Wyoming is starting to creep up there too. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's starting to get up there, but it's still not
mhm.
anywhere close to where Colorado is.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh yeah. Oh no, no, no. Colorado is coming close to California, I think. Okay. So uh there's a certain tradition that you started when you were I don't know, maybe about a year ago that that you started with your neighbor bull. Has to do
Actually,
with the big old dinosaur. Tell us
oh,
about.
the dinosaur! Oh my gosh. Actually, actually, that was kind of a spoof. We were like, uh, I was showing everybody the dinosaur over at Little America,
Mhm.
and everybody's here. Fubar, you've got to ride that dinosaur. This was oh God, that was a while back. And I'm here going, no, I'm not getting up on the dinosaur's back. And so one of my moderators, she said, if we can raise 50 bucks, I bet you we could get Fubar to ride the dinosaur.
Oh.
And sure enough, $50 came in real fast. And so I'm here going, oh, Lord, help me. So,
Yeah.
yes, I got on the back and rode the dinosaur. And so I've done goofy things like that, done snow angels, uh, just goofy stuff like that. Like I said, you got to have a sense of humor. Um, but but that now there's been some challenges that I'm like, no, absolutely not. When I had my hair cut, I do miss my long hair. I still miss my long hair,
I prefer
and
the shorter hair. It
and that
really does look
that
handsome.
that was a challenge, and I went and got my hair cut,
Mhm.
um, and not just cut. I mean, it went way, way down. I mean, heck, I had flashbacks of my basic training days. It was cut so short.
Mhm.
So, but
LL
no,
is asking us a question. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were finished.
oh, no, go ahead.
LL is asking a question.
Okay. Oh, how did we
Yeah.
meet? LL, that's a good question. I met I met Calamity. I was actually in the hospital after my heart attack, and she was one of my loyal viewers. And I was going through a very rough time in my life. A lot of stuff was happening at the time.
Mhm.
And I was looking at having to shut down the channel because I lost my I lost the vehicle I was using. Um, it was a really tough time. And Calamity was one of my moderators, and her husband says we will donate a truck to you. And sure enough, she did. It's the very truck that we use today. It's called the nickname is the Fublamity Mobile, and and I mean, God bless them. If I wouldn't have had that vehicle, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel.
Well,
And I mean, that one thing started me on to where we are today. And I've been up, I've been to Calamity's house, I've met her, her husband, her son, stayed the night, got to taste Calamity's wonderful food. Um, so yeah, it's so, but yeah, that's how we met. Is she started out as a subscriber on my channel, and now we're kind of like brother and sister now.
Mm. Well, I am glad that it is getting used. It was just sitting around, and the field mice were having a fun time in there, and so because I don't know if you guys know, but I live beyond the boonies. Okay, um,
She definitely lives in God's country. Let me
I
tell you
do.
what.
It's beyond the boonies. My closest neighbor's like a mile away. So, but anyway, I've had a lot of changes in my life too, Fubar. A lot. So I understand. I understand coming up on hard times, and I understand what it's like to know what your future is not going to look like, and
Right.
uh, the Flublamity mobile. There it is. So, Fubar, I know that you have stuff that you've got to do, but is there anything that you want to share with all of us?
Just guys, I say it on my channel a lot, and I really do mean these words. Um, you guys need to be safe out there. It really is a crazy world. I live in a small city, 65,000 people.
Hmm.
And if you watch the craziness that goes on in just this small of town, it could
Hmm.
happen anywhere USA. So, I mean, I don't care how small the town you guys are in. Some people, I mean, stuff happens.
Hmm.
So you got to be careful and be safe out there. Um, Also, I want to thank everybody. For those that don't know, I work with the homeless. On Friday and Saturday nights, I give out food bags to the homeless. Um, on my stream, that's how we start the stream, is giving them food. And I wouldn't be able to do that without the support of my people in my channel. They send me the food, and I know that the homeless people here are extremely grateful for it. So, and we've been doing that for a year and a half now. So like I said, I've really got a special group of people.
Yeah.
So
You know, you fall in love with your chats, don't you?
yeah, you
Yeah.
know, every last one of them. And what's awesome is I've got such a cool chat because somebody new will come in and they will accept them as part of the family.
Hmm.
And I've been in other YouTube chats, and it's like, my gosh, a lot of people don't even notice you or even say hi to you, much
Yeah.
less. And my group, they really come, they really accept people into the
Hmm.
chat.
Yeah. You know, I know that your people love you, and want only the best for you, and for you to be as safe as possible. And
Uh,
go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say that it's a difficult world that we live in right now. Safety is not guaranteed to everybody, not even me out here. That's why I have an AR. But
Right.
anyway, you
Yeah,
know,
you've got your protection.
yes, yes.
I call it I call it mobile security.
Mobile security. That's right. That's right. That's what we have here in the Cowboy State. Shout out to
Mhm.
Wyoming. Shout out to our governor who knows me. And it is a funny story. It is a funny story. And yeah. Shout out to you, Mr. Gordon. Um, Fubar. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank no, thank you. I really do appreciate talking on your channel, and thank you very much for the invite.
So you'll come back again?
Oh, I suppose. Yes, of
We'll
course.
do
I
it
will
again.
always come back.
Yeah. And I'm branching out, if anybody knows anybody in the chats who has an interesting story, something that uh, people can grasp onto that needs to be shared, let me know. My email is in my link tree. And oh my gosh, you know what? I'm sorry, I never took that down. So you guys never saw my link tree, did you?
Oop.
Now you can see the link tree now. And so,
Eh,
um,
On,
my what?
on, are you having a problem with Linktree and PayPal?
No,
Because
but
Linktree took my
I don't get very many donations like you guys do. So, because it's a
well,
completely different platform.
yet Linktree uh, took my PayPal down off my Linktree, and I went in to see why, and they said uh, that they're now charging if you want to put PayPal on your Linktree, and it was like 100 and it was some stupid price, and I'm going, that's ridiculous.
Oh well, like I said, it's two completely different platforms. So I don't get donations like you guys get, but I don't have much overhead.
Right.
You guys have a lot more overhead than I ever would. So um so anyway, um I think that does it for me for right now.
Okay, awesome.
How about you?
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
looking at a bunch of boxes that I've got to sell.
Yeah, I know. So well, everybody, thank you so much for being here. And for those who are watching this after the live, I thank you very much. And if you would just put a hootie hoo in the comments for us, we'd love it.
Thanks,
And
guys.
you're gonna be out there tonight, yeah?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Okay. What nights are you out?
Friday through Tuesday.
Friday through Tuesday. Okay. And so then I guess that I'll see you tomorrow night. I'll pop in and say who do you.
We'll see you at the movies.
Sounds good. Okay. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.